Johnny, what's it?
You ever kind of walking about brief? It's very like kind of...
Do you want this, mate? Is that what you want?
I'll give it to you.
Hi there, how you doing? It's, aye. We're going to give it a go.
What's your guitar like?
That's all right. Yeah. Thanks for organising us there. We organised it. Well,
It's all Ryan's fault.
well, right guys, here we go, right? So basically, as a disclaimer, I would just like to say as a disclaimer, that's the terms and conditions that Nick can't ever read on anything about anything, right? But as a disclaimer, I remember my dad once telling me that when I was saying how funny is Kevin Bridges, and my dad said that Kevin Bridges was no funnier than a man for the streets. And it's very, very true, because Glasgow produces the best and the funniest. So I think that's a bit of shit. So that's a disclaimer. But here goes. This is the story about the time I heeded a cunt in a bar in London because I thought I was gay, but I wasn't. Pretty much it. Pretty much it. What's next? The rabbit story? No, the rabbit story will come. But no, that story about the I'm lucky enough to know famous DJs from Glasgow, Optimal, JD Twitch and JG Wilkes. Can we get a clap if you've ever been to Subway on a Sunday? Cost me about 3 or 4 jobs. I remember once, a Sunday night, great night to put that on, fucking try to build a career. Now look what I'm... Yeah, exactly, that's the point I'm making. Well done, keep them going. No, please do, because I'm running an empty. I'm at my first motor now, which was left at T in the Park, incidentally, and then when my dad managed to get it back, because I never used to care much for responsibility, but my dad got it back, and then said, do you care about this motor or not? I said, no, and he said, right, I'm going to go and see what I can get for it, and he got his bus fare home, from a lovely guy in Springburn, so he got his bus fare home. But the story that I was going to tell originally was the one about, was it about Optimal? Aye, so, they came down to London when I was living down in London, never had a pot to piss in, and I mean literally never had a pot to piss in apart from a 600 grand flat in Shepherd's Bush, which was pretty good. Rent was seasonal, as in I never paid the cunt. Never paid the cunt. Well, sometimes if I was feeling flush, but I stole from Pret 3 times a day and all that, it was all good. So anyway, Optimal came down, and I found out they were playing in a gay club. And Optimal are an institution in Glasgow. I worship Optimal, I really do. They're the best DJs in the world, in my opinion. And they came down, and they're like, right, playing in a gay club in the East End of London, Dalston Superstore, and I'm like, that's a fucking gay club. Now, I was like to Twitch, JD Twitch, I'm like, why are you playing at a gay club? He was like, Optimal was gay. I was like, oh, is it? I was like, that fucking explains quite a lot, actually. I was like, I thought they were birds. I wasn't convinced that they were birds, but it's amazing how things like can fuck you up. Acid has a lot to answer for. There's no doubt that acid has a lot to answer for. So they've come down and all that, and I'm like, right, guest list. He's like, I ain't bother. And at that point, I'd lost 2 long-term relationships with girls, and both of them were convinced that I was a fucking chuffter, right? Have we got any gays in? Any gays in?
Secret ones.
Aye, me too. We're in. So we've been doing guest list and writing, and I was thinking to myself, right, I've lost 2 birds, and for some reason he thought I was gay, but I could never work it out, right? Why the fuck they thought I was gay, right? Just because sporadically, i.e. every time we had sex, I was like, do you mind fucking my ass? So for some reason they managed to get this idea that I was gay, so they pinned me and they were like, you're gay. I was like, you're a fucking cow. Fuck off. So yeah, I've ended up in there and I'm going like that. I'm going to be a wee bit more open about my sexuality. Maybe there is a chance I'm fucking gay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are black. Some people are gay. So anyway, I'm in there, right? And I'm going like that. So I'm in there and I'm fucking gay and all that. And I'm standing about and all that, and I'm listening to Optimo. I'm like, Optimo in London, out man up, and then the first guy comes up, and he makes a move, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Do I do it? So I went in, and I was like, very, very close, and I went like that, I went, nah, I went, listen mate, just explore my sexuality. He's like, what? You're pounding techno. About 3 o'clock in the morning, the guys had more poppers than fucking they can sell in the bars. He's like to me, I'm like, I was just exploring my sexuality, I'm not gay. Fuck off. So 2 minutes later he comes back and he's going like that to me. I'm like, no, I'm like, mate, listen, I'm not gay. So he comes back a third time, I just fucking put the nut in him. I was like, he's on him. Right, and then I was thinking to myself the next day when he gets up the road and he's saying to all his friends, you know, fucking all that about like what happened to him and why he received the famous Glasgow kiss. And I realised that he would be going at his pals, but he was leading me on. Now, can someone tell me how this in a gay club at 3 o'clock in the morning is leading some cunt on? That's apparently what I was doing. He's a proof. He's an absolute proof. But London was very, very good. The Frankie Boyle thing as well. I've been thrown out of one of the top members' parties. As Glaswegians are the want, they sometimes like to have a drink. And when I was moved down to London, I was walking about on a Saturday afternoon. Just moved down, walking about Kensington, Notting Hill, Shepherd's Bush, wearing a pair of Adidas trainers, pair of Adidas shorts. They only sponsored me, trust me. And a Celtic top. Who sponsors Celtic?
Magnus.
Magnus, that was the old days. Keep on drinking. Whoever it was. The old days, it was a year ago. Tenants, so I was sponsored by Tenants. Tanning a bottle of wine. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's people walking dogs about Kensington that are worth more with the things that they're wearing in their fucking bodies than I will ever make in my life. And I'm like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, these glamorous part. What's your dog's name and all? I'm like, hey, thinking I'm Liam Gallagher and that. Like to my posh mate Phil, very posh. I'm like, fucking, look at that. They're out of order and they want to tell me their dog's name and all. Now Terry, you were asking the dog what his name was. The dog cannot speak. The dog is a feline creature. I was like, I feel like know a cat, yeah mate. So I'm like, right, let's go. We're marching on down Kensington High Street. And then I've just seen the creme de la creme of London society going down the road. I'm like, that's the one for me. I'm like, where are they going? Phil's like, no, don't go fucking there. That's a rooftop pool party just off Kensington High Street. You don't fucking want to go there. It's all guest list anyway. I'm like, we're getting in there. At this point I had a skinhead and I was still wearing the glasses. And I'm thinking, in my buckfast filled head at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in High Street, Kensington, where the lowest property is worth about £5-6 million. How can I get in? And then I went, right, got it. Phil, you're going to phone them up and pretend to be my agent, right? Phone them up and just say Frankie Boyle's in town for a gig and he's needing somewhere to go for the afternoon before he goes and performs at the Hammersmith Apollo. And Phil's like, I'm not doing that. I was like, Phil, hurry up. So he's like, okay. So I'm like, phone. Right, phone him up. He's like, hello. One thing when they worked out was who the fuck he was phoning from, like what promotion company he was phoning from. So he's going, hello, I'm from and we looked at each other and went, make something up. And he went, I'm from Make Something Up Promotions. I was like, a fucking dancer down there. I was like, well then, I was like, Phil, it's the first sensible thing you've ever done. I was like, good on you, keep going. I've got my what the fuck is it they call them? The kids that you represent.
Client.
My client, Frankie Boy, who's drinking at the top of the street, can he come down? And I'm like, fucking yes. And then they're like, no, the guest list's out and all that. And I'm listening to the call. I'm like, keep pushing it, it's Frankie Boy, what? He's like, you're not fucking Frankie Boy. So then eventually the girl goes like, okay, if he comes down in the next 5 minutes we can get him in, blah blah blah, just come to the front. Now I'm talking creme de la creme, I'm not talking garage on a Thursday. Like, the amount of fucking people were just stunning, right? Just beautiful, beautiful people. The only way I could pull any one of them is with that. What's that called? That's what we're we're all in. So we go down, right, and we're walking down the queue and I'm going back to them all. Bear in mind, sell it top, Adidas shorts, Adidas shoes, I'm back to them, wankers. Once again, I think I'm Liam Gallagher, man, pure fucking moon. Down at the front, and Phil's like, this is never going to work. And then I'm thinking to myself in my drunken stupor, by this point it's about 2:30, I'm like, this isn't going to work. Got to the front, and Phil went, I phoned 5 minutes ago, this is my client, Frankie Boylan. He's standing there like that. And I don't know why, but the woman went like, she went, Frankie, absolute pleasure to meet you. And you come? And I went, what? I've walked in the door, I'm like, this is unbelievable. Queue jumped, right? So obviously I've given the obligatory like to the people in the queue, like pure, walked in, the biggest, blackest London bouncer just standing by her. And who the fuck are you supposed to be? I went, well, I'm fucking Frankie Boyle. I went, you're not fucking Frankie Boyle. And he grabbed me by the fucking arm, right out the street. It's amazing how you can go from fucking so much to so little. But yeah, this is going a lot better than I thought it would. But yes, I shall. The very, very, very final story that I've got to end with is the one that if ever I did this, it would be the one, if it's the rabbit story it's called. You ever heard the rabbit story?
No. Oh yeah, that was an answer, right?
Huh? Yeah, I don't use answer at the back. Everyone take the back up. Basically, very quickly, the watered down version. I live at number 1 in the street, my best friend lives at number 2, and the next three will come into it. So when we were like 16, we were jumping about with like fake IDs and all that, as everyone does. Cardonald College, the ones that tore away at the side and that. Do you mean it's a fake ID? Like pure, tearing away at the side, mate, fuck off. So we would write in and then get fucked on the Friday night. His mum and dad were on holiday, my next door neighbours, empties and all that. So we've come up the road on the Friday night, fucked. Saturday we were having a massive party right in the house, big party, DJ and all that, celebrating youth. And as we're celebrating youth, as I was about to begin to celebrate youth, on the Saturday morning I went over to say to my best friend, are you fucking up for this tonight? He says, nah, we're not having it. I says, how? He says, do you remember last night? I went, don't remember fuck all. He went, I met a butt last night. I says, alright, I think I love her. You know when you're 16 you think you love every cunt? No, like, you genuinely do. Fall in love so easily when you're 16. As you get older you don't tend to fall in love as easy as you do when you're 16. So he's fallen in love. So he's going to cook her dinner. So the party's off on the Saturday night. So I've got nowhere to go, right? So I'm just like, a wank. So he's cooking the dinner for this girl, right? Cooking dinner. Tanning buckfast wine while he's cooking dinner. Does a 3-course job, listening to pounding techno music in his mum and dad's house at 16 by himself. He's like, yes, and all that, jumping about the house, finishes the wine onto his mum's top shelf, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he's like, oh, still cooking. It's like Jamie Oliver and all that, mad bit. Gets to 7:30, just like, he's pure marching about the house, and then he's like, where is every cunt? And he's like, oh, sure, I've got a date. The date comes over, rings the doorbell. He's only met her the night before. He opens the door, he's like to her, well, hello. And she's like, are you drunk? He's like, am I drunk? I'm fucked. And she's like, right, should I go home? And he's like, no, come in, I've cooked you dinner. And she's like, what? I've been cooking today, just with a couple of sherries with my cooking. So the two of them are sitting down, eating away and all that, blah, blah, blah. And as they're sitting down and eating, conversation is nil. He's got his heating soup for that, right? The Heinz chicken tin soup, right? So he's got this like that. So if you're my best friend, which hopefully we will be after this, and I'm the bird, right? Conversation nil, and as they're eating, in the background comes a dog. And the dog, who my best friend owns, has got a mauled rabbit in its mouth, right? Rabbit's mauled, and she goes, oh my fucking god, look! He's like that. Oh aye, look at that. He's like, don't worry about it. It's the little girl next door's rabbit. And she's like, what the fuck are you going to do? He's like, as I say, don't worry about it. Enjoy your soup. And he stands up and takes the mauled rabbit out of the dog's mouth. He walks into the kitchen and runs the rabbit under the tap. Starts going to Palmolive hand soap and starts giving the rabbit a, for want of a better word, a mane, right? As rabbits have a want of having, if they're not felines. Are rabbits feelings? Are cats feelings?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, does that, does the old fucking thing, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, hey, how's your date now, you cow? She's like, what? And he's like, he goes out into the back garden, climbs over the fence, puts the rabbit back in the little girl next door's hutch, closes the hutch, climbs back over the fence and comes in. She says, you're a fucking arsehole, never want to see you ever again. So that's fair enough, completely understandable, like, obviously. So the next day we're standing outside smoking a joint outside the front, and as we're standing outside smoking a joint, right, the big dad from number 3 pulls up, right, and he parks the car at number 3, so I live at 1, Stephen lives at 2 and he lives at 3. The dad, Big John, built at the side of a house, it's at the motor, and he goes, Tony, Stephen, you's alright? We're like, you alright, John? How's things? He's like, no bad, no bad. See you later. I'm like, cool. Walks into his house. So I'm like, well, I'm making conversation, stoned at my box, and I'm like, you've got away with it. Like, how's he ever going to find out? 2 weeks later, right, his mum and dad are back from holiday. We're outside smoking a joint again, swear to God. And John pulls in the big Range Rover. He gets out the Range Rover and he goes like, Tony, Stephen, fucking over here. You're like, oh fuck. So I'm like, that's what do with the Liam Gallagher swagger again, which I've got. We go over like, alright John, how you doing? He's like, alright Tony. I'm like, alright. Alright Stephen, how you doing? I'm like, aye, no bad, no bad. What's happening? He's like, what's happening? No fucking good. He went like, look at what these bastards have done to my car. And someone had taken a key and scratched all the paintwork of his Range Rover from one end to the other. So to empathise, I said to him, John, that's fucking shocking. See whoever did that, they should be fucking locked up and the keys should be thrown away. He goes, I know Tony. He says, see if you think that's bad. He says, see 2 weeks ago, some sick bastard jumped over my fence, dug up my daughter's dead rabbit, washed it and put it back in the hut.